Hi everyone, I'm Michael Ruger. I'm the managing partner at Greenbush Financial Group. Just wanted to do a quick video for you today on the new RMD rules that are associated with the CARES Act that just passed in March. So some individuals that have retirement accounts have to take small required minimum distributions each year and pay tax on them. They're called RMDs, or required minimum distributions. Well, the rules for those just changed specifically for 2020. So when Congress passed the CARES Act in 2020, they're going to give you the option of whether or not you want to take an RMD for the year. Now, this will apply to individuals that turn 70 and a half prior to December 31st, 2019, and any non-spouse beneficiaries that have inherited IRAs. Normally, those individuals would have to take those small RMD pieces. So for 2020, you are going to have the option whether or not you want to take those distributions out and pay tax on them. Now, some individuals have already taken the RMDs for the year. So we've gotten questions saying, well, I took it in January, all this stuff didn't happen until March. Is there an option for me to put it back? And the answer is, it depends. So we're gonna go through some of those options today as well. So first, let's address who's eligible for this RMD waiver. So unlike other provisions within the CARES Act that speak about retirement accounts and special distribution options and loan options, a lot of those options you only have access to if you can prove that you have been financially impacted by the coronavirus. But this RMD waiver is not one of them. They made this available universally to everyone, regardless of the coronavirus impact. So how do you implement this RMD waiver? It's really as easy as contacting whoever maintains your IRA and just telling them, hey, that RMD that you were going to send to me later this year, don't send it to me. I want to waive out of it for 2020. But that brings up the obvious question is for individuals that have already received their RMD for the year, maybe they got it in January and February. The first question we've gotten is, am I still eligible since this happened earlier in the year? And the answer is yes, even though that RMD was taken prior to the whole coronavirus mess that started in February, March, you are still eligible. But the other question is, how do I get that back to my IRA? So there's different features depending on whether it's your own IRA or if you are a non-spouse beneficiary of that inherited IRA. Let's first address a scenario where this is your own IRA. You're over the age of 70 and a half before December 31st, 2019, and you did the distribution before the CARES Act passed. So you took the distribution in January, now you want to put it back and essentially waive your RMD requirement for 2020. So if that distribution happened within the last 60 days, it's actually fairly easy. All you do is have to cut a check back to your IRA account, and it's almost like it never happened. And what you're accessing is the 60-day rollover rule, which is a rule that says once a year, you are allowed to take money out of your IRA and put it back in within 60 days, and it gets wiped clean with no tax liability. Now, if the distribution happened more than 60 days ago, in order to put that money back in your IRA and avoid the RMD tax hit, you actually have to adhere to one of the 4 criteria set forth by the coronavirus-related distributions. And here are those 4 items. So you or your spouse or dependent was diagnosed with COVID-19. The second one, you are unable to work due to the lack of child care resulting from COVID-19. Number 3, you own a business that is closed or is operating under reduced hours due to COVID-19. Or number 4, you have experienced adverse financial consequences as a result of being quarantined, furloughed, laid off, or having work hours reduced because of COVID-19. So if you qualify under one of those 4 criteria, you have the option to actually put that money back within a 3-year period, not 60 days, 3 years from the date you took the distribution. Now, there's a catch with this that if you don't put the money back by December 31st, 2020, you may have to pick up all or a portion of that RMD on your 2020 as taxable income. And what happens is, if I don't put the money back until, let's say, 2021, I then have to go back and amend my 2020 tax return to essentially recoup the taxes I paid on that RMD amount for 2020. So now let's switch gears over to the inherited IRAs for the non-spouse beneficiaries. So as a non-spouse beneficiary of these IRAs, you are required to take a small RMD this year. Unfortunately, if you have already taken your RMD for 2020, you are not able to return that money to your IRA and avoid the tax hit. The reason being is beneficiaries are not allowed to process rollovers of those RMD amounts, so you are restricted from doing that. But if you are a beneficiary of one of these IRAs and you have yet to take your RMD, you can contact your investment provider and say, I don't want to take it for the year, and avoid having to take that distribution for 2020. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me at moneysmartboard.com. Thank you.